Hi, I'm Aishanya, and one of my favorite movies of all time is Inside Out. For those of you who haven't watched it, it's an animated film about a young girl named Riley and the holy mess of her 5 fundamental emotions: joy, sadness, fear, which I'm feeling a lot of right now, disgust, which I'm feeling right now, hopefully, and anger. The film talks about certain emotions surging at certain times and taking over her system. It validates negative emotions as crucial parts of our development and talks about the prominence of being emotionally intelligent in a growingly emotionless world. Emotional intelligence sounds like an oxymoron. Two contradictory words put together: emotional implying sensitive, sentimental, and perhaps even irrational, and intelligence meaning wit, judgment, and brilliance. But when you finally understand and internalize the power of your emotional intelligence, you won't fail to celebrate it. A study shows that your IQ accounts for only 20% of the success in your life. The remaining 80% is accounted for by your EQ. To make this idea of this very overlooked aspect of intelligence simpler to understand, I use the word Riley from the movie, and it stands for regulation, insight, leadership, empathy, and yardstick. To begin with regulation, a while ago I was having a rough week. I received some brutal feedback for an assignment. I couldn't grasp a simple math concept. I got an email rejecting an internship application. And on top of all that, I lost my lunch money. So it's safe to say I wasn't having the best time. And soon these feelings of insecurity clouded my judgment of everything. Everything felt negative. I was being moody, short-tempered. I would snap at people. I even smeared my eyeliner for the cinematic effect. But what I lacked here was self-regulation. I was overreacting. Self-regulation helps you identify and stop any disruptive thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Self-regulation stops me from explosively frowning when my favorite dessert is not on the menu. It stops me from feeling personally attacked when someone said they didn't like my favorite novel. Self-regulation is that pause between a feeling and an action. Insight. When I talk about insight, I might need to give you some background information. Please bear with me. I love watching MasterChef. I know the recipe of a panna cotta like the back of my hand. So recently, when I was watching an episode, we saw an extremely gifted and talented cook decide to quit the show voluntarily. Shocking. And the reason, he said, he had to go sort himself out. The stress was denting his entire life, and he knew in this moment, only this could help him, even though it meant abandoning the dream of winning this competition. This is what I call the epitome of self-insight and awareness. It's knowing your emotions inside out and not bottling them up and repressing them until you break perfectly, like a hazelnut praline coated with, of course, some internalized anger. Self-insight helps you understand the things you can't and can control, and helps you know how your behavior affects yourself and those around you. Leadership. I'm sure everyone here remembers the FIFA World Cup, and we all had our favorite teams. Mine was France, and I'm okay. No, I'm not. That's not the point. The point is, we remember after Croatia defeated Japan, the Japanese fans took out big blue trash bags and we saw them pick up scattered garbage, sticky soda, soggy popcorn. They didn't mind. This is what a leader does. And a Japanese fan, Tomoni Kishiwara, said, "We believe we can make this contagious. We're not pushing anyone to clean, but hopefully we can set a good example." And a good example it was. This is what a leader does. These fans were leaders. They were being insightful and regulating their intense emotions after a defeat. I would have just cried, but they respected their values and they And they showed leadership. This also shows that when emotionally independent individuals collaborate, they can lead us on to greater things, effortlessly, without the use of force. Empathy. Empathy is a simple concept, and that's why I have a simple example. Recently, my sister had hurt her leg, so we had to take her to the hospital. And during the whole flurry of forms and sanitizers and checkups, I had to go pick up a slip for the x-ray, but due to my not-so-great Bahasa skills, I judged by the drawings and picked whatever. Turns out there were 400 people before me, so I was confused, irritated, annoyed, but thankfully a lady saw through my fake confidence and offered to help. Thank God she did. It was the wrong slip, of course, and we went to the x-ray room. On the way back, when I saw her again, she told me that actually she has a son in Europe who's going through the same barrier of languages, but no one seemed to be helping him, and it was quite troublesome. What amazed me was that she wasn't bitter about it. I would have held a grudge against it until the end of time, but she decided to help me anyway. This is empathy. It's this simple and independent of what someone else does to you. If you are capable of extending that extra hand, you probably should. Lastly, when I talk about yardstick, I'm sure we all know that emotional and social problems aren't exactly measurable. And that's why having a role model, a yardstick we can look up to, makes things simpler. That's why when I look at someone else solve a similar problem, it works like an SOP for me. So these role models, in my case, are little children. To elaborate, when I was choosing my subjects for grade 11, I was stressed out. I thought, this decides the fate of my future. This decision has to be the right one. It was like I was in the Lord of the Rings. And then my little cousin brother saw me like that and he asked me what was wrong. So I was listing out. I have to work super hard academically. I have to get into a good university. I have to get a degree. And to that he said, that's just 3 things. Before he fist bumped me and moved on to Subway Surfers. This also reminded me of a life lesson I live by that I read in a newspaper a long time ago, but still really resonates with me. 8-year-old Graham had said, "May there always be pizza in your heart and puppies in your soul. Namaste." I think I've spoken a lot for today. I just hope I haven't ruined the movie for everyone here because it won't be the same for me anymore. But just remember, you don't need surveys, research, studies, and books to become emotionally intelligent. You just need to work on yourself, inside out. Thank you.